Ever since I was a little girl, all I can remember is it always being my mom and I. My dad was in and out of my life due to the fact that he was either in jail or prison. My dad isn't a bad guy. I wish I could tell you my whole life story, but we don't have time for that today. However, I have gone through a great deal of challenges in my life without having my father in prison. Right now, as we speak, my dad is 10 hours away in Marquette Prison. On December 27, 2017 was the last day I would ever be able to see or hug my dad for the next 15 years due to the fact that he was placed in prison. He did not get to see me graduate high school, send me off to prom, or move me into my first college dorm. Having a parent who's incarcerated truly can take a toll on a child's life. These effects just don't happen to anyone. There are over 5 million kids with parents behind bars, according to the Casey Foundation. I know these effects can happen because they've happened to me. I have a father who is incarcerated and has been for my whole life. Today, I will share the effects that having a parent incarcerated has on a child's mental health, behavior, and lastly, their education. Let's begin by talking about the major effects on a child's mental health. Children with an incarcerated parent are more than 3 times more likely to have behavioral problems or depression than similar children without an in-prison parent, and at least twice as likely to suffer from learning disabilities such as ADD, ADHD, and anxiety, a study done by Christian Turney, the author of Journal in Health and Science. Children are more likely to suffer from depression while having a parent imprisoned. This is because they don't have what they think everyone should have. Seeing other kids have their mom or dad in their life makes them feel as something they did is wrong. When you grow up to believe that the perfect family is having your parents both together, a big house, and nice things. If you don't have those, then you are different. When I was a little girl, I would be jealous of the kids who had a father figure in their life when I didn't. I would actually lie to my friends and tell them that my father passed away because I was so embarrassed to tell them the truth. Having a parent in prison is a stressor, causing them not to focus on things that kids should be focusing on while growing up. Most kids play with other children while in school and make a great deal of friends. However, when having a parent incarcerated, it makes a child want to not step out of their comfort zone, causing them never to really grow up and make good friendships with peers. Then later in life, developing social anxiety. Now that you know the mental effects, let's move on and talk about the behavior a child has when a parent is incarcerated. These effects are talked about by Ross D. Parker, University of California, Riverside, and K. Allison Clark Stewart, University of California, from the U.S. Department of Health and Services. Children are more likely to experience risky behavior such as rule breaking. However, seeing their parents in prison often make a child grow up too fast. By growing up too fast, they are forced to learn how to take care of themselves. They learn how to do chores, clean, and get jobs and other things. But as a child, you should be playing with friends, going out, and focusing on your education rather than being an adult. Finally, let's talk about the effects on a child's education. It's common that while having a parent in prison can take many tolls on a child, their education is the biggest one. For example, children ages 6 to 11 with an incarcerated parent were on average more likely to be less engaged in school, according to Tim Walker from the National Education Association website. This all has to circle back to around the effects of mental health and behavior that plays a major role in education. You get your motivation from your mental health, which causes you to do good in school. However, having poor mental health makes a child not want to go to school, causing them to fall behind. Today we have learned what happens to a child's mental health, behavior, and education. Even though my dad was not able to see me graduate from high school, send me off to prom, or move me into my first college dorm, I tell myself every day that he's going to see me graduate college, be at my wedding, and move me into my